All right, everyone, welcome back. We're diving into one of your requests today, and honestly, I'm really glad you wrote in about this one.
Yeah, this should be a fun one to unpack.
It really should, because we're tackling a concept that sounds deceptively simple, but gets kind of complicated really fast. We're talking about stores of value.
Ah, yes. The age-old question. What's worth holding on to?
Exactly. And more specifically, where does Bitcoin fit into all of this? Because, I was at a party the other day actually trying to explain Bitcoin to someone.
Oh, I've been there. It's
Yeah.
always interesting to see where those conversations go.
Yeah, and trying to sum up this whole store of value idea on the fly, it's tough.
Well, let's break it down then. So when we talk about something being a store of value, what are we really getting at?
Okay, so at the most basic level, we're saying it's something that can hold its worth over time. Like, you could trade it away today and be confident it'll have a similar value tomorrow, or even years from now.
Exactly. It's about preserving purchasing power. And historically, one of the biggest examples of this has been.
Gold, right. That's the classic example everyone thinks about.
And for good reason. Gold has been a store of value for centuries. It's durable, scarce. Pretty much everyone recognizes it.
Right, but it's interesting, though, because it's not like we all use gold bars to buy our groceries every day. So it's got to be about more than just its usefulness, right?
You're hitting on a crucial point. There's a deeper layer here. It's not just about an asset holding its value in a vacuum. It's about what that value represents within a specific context.
So like with gold, it's always had this link to wealth and power, right? Like kings and empires, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Gold embodies something beyond just its material use. It's a symbol of stability, of lasting value. And those associations are powerful. You see similar things with other assets that have gained a store of value status.
Like, okay, what about classic cars or rare art? Those things hold value over time, but it's not like they're essential for survival or anything.
Exactly. It's about perceived value, scarcity, maybe even a bit of nostalgia mixed in. It all contributes to why people are willing to pay a premium.
Which brings us to the big question, the Bitcoin question. This audio excerpt that someone sent us, they really honed in on Bitcoin as a potential store of value. And a big part of their argument was about Bitcoin's digital scarcity.
Right, and they make a good point. Just like gold, Bitcoin has a finite supply, 21 million coins, and that's it. No more, no less.
It's like imagining if we could somehow decide that no more gold could ever be mined. Like, that would be huge.
It would definitely shake things up. It's
Oh,
like suddenly that scarcity that gave gold its value is thrown into question. And that's why this limited supply argument for Bitcoin is so interesting. It's baked into the code. It's unchangeable.
But of course, we can't talk about Bitcoin without addressing the elephant in the room, the volatility. How can something that jumps up and down in price so dramatically be considered a store of value?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the excerpt we were sent acknowledges this because wild price swings don't exactly scream stable investment, do they?
But then the excerpt made this comparison, and I found it really interesting. They likened Bitcoin to a tech stock in its early days, all about speculation, lots of unknowns.
Ah, so it's less about whether Bitcoin is a store of value right now and more about its potential to become one, you mean?
Exactly. If it matures, if those price swings calm down, who knows? Maybe in the future we'll be talking about Bitcoin the same way we talk about gold now. Or maybe not.
And that's the thing about all of this. It's still early days for Bitcoin. It's all a bit of a grand experiment. It has some of the characteristics of a store of value, sure, but it also faces real challenges. It's this uncertainty that makes it such a fascinating topic to dive into.
It really is. It makes you think about how our understanding of value might be changing, especially as our world becomes increasingly digital.
Absolutely. It challenges us to rethink our assumptions because what we consider valuable in the digital realm might not perfectly align with how we viewed value in the past.
So after this deep dive, any major takeaways for you? What really stuck with you?
I think the big takeaway here is that store of value is more nuanced than we often give it credit for. It's not just about an asset holding its price. It's intertwined with social context, history, perception, even emotion sometimes. And Bitcoin, with its digital scarcity and its decentralized nature, it's a really interesting case study in how this whole concept of store of value might be evolving.
That's a fantastic point. Bitcoin is forcing us to reconsider what we value in a digital world and whether those traditional ideas still hold up. And maybe it'll even lead to entirely new forms of value that we haven't even imagined yet. That's something for everyone to chew on, right? As always, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive, and keep those requests coming. We'll catch you next time.